Right, the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to you about the segue from, let's assume that you just finished the party and they have everything on their face. Now let me talk to you a little bit about how your table should look. It has been proven that women have a very difficult time making a decision from a cluttered workspace, that you need to give them just a couple of choices and that you need to make sure that they can think, and if they're working from a really scattered workplace, then that doesn't work very well. So your job, as they're finishing up their facial and they're putting on their Fancy Nancy lip gloss and they're getting the final touches on their face, your job is to take a little trash bag and clean up the workspace so that you don't have a bunch of clutter around on your table. And the only thing that should be left in front of them is their mirror. Okay, because you want them to continue to look at their face and to continue to enjoy how awesome they look, how great their skin feels. But at the end of the day, that really should be all that's left in front of them. If there's too much else sitting there, it feels cluttered and they can't make a good decision. So that's your job, is to always stay one jump ahead of them and make sure that the table is clean, all right? Now, I have had this travel roll-up bag hanging somewhere where they can see it throughout the entire class. Because let's face it, ladies, we're really all 3 years old inside. And we all want what we can't have, right? And so they've been drooling over this travel roll-up bag the entire evening because I've had it positioned where they could see it all night long. And so you know what they've been thinking is, I wonder how I can have that for myself, right? I wonder how I can take that home. And so you have that positioned all evening. Really don't even have to say a whole lot about it, but have it positioned where they can see it. Because isn't this really attractive? And wouldn't you all love everything that comes in that? And your clients at your skincare classes are feeling the exact same way, okay? So what I do is, once I've gotten the table cleaned off and they're proceeding and finishing up and getting the last touches on their face, I proceed to take this travel roll-up bag and I just very gently roll it up and hold it. Now what have I just done? We're all three inside, right? And so I have just mentally, psychologically, just taken the bag away. Now it's mine, right? And so they may not even know this is happening, but in their head, they're thinking, ooh, what has she got? She's got that travel roll-up bag, and I like that travel roll-up bag, and I want what's inside that because my face feels terrific, right? So this begins the segue process, because I think what happens to a lot of consultants is they get very nervous right here and they start thinking, okay, well, the party's over and they love what they've done, but now how do I execute the sale? Now how do I proceed from here so that it's not awkward and I don't come off as pushy, or I'm not perceived as a high pressure salesperson? And so basically what I do is I just hang on to this and we go into what I call now compliment time. Now, many times at a skincare class, you're gonna have somebody there that is less than positive. We're gonna call her Negative Nelly, right? Nothing you put on her face works. Everything that you talk about, she knows something better. And so sometimes a person like that can kind of be Debbie Downer at a skincare class or at a party. And so it's so important that when you're about ready to introduce them to what they might be able to take home with them tonight, that you begin to make sure that the class ends on a very positive note. And so what we're gonna do during compliment time is we're gonna take the opportunity to negate anything that Debbie Downer might have said. Now, you're not gonna have her at every party, but in the event that she showed up at this party, we wanna make sure that this ends on a positive note. Now, what's happened around that table is, for the most part, everybody has fallen in love with what just happened to their face. They love how their face feels, they love how their foundation looks, they love how well the color matches, they love everything about what's just happened. Now, I can tell them how good they look, and what do they think? They immediately think, oh, she's just trying to sell me something, right? Or their best friend that came to the party with them can tell them how good they look, and she believes them, right? She thinks, oh, well, she thinks I look good, right? Or I could never say to a woman, oh, that foundation shade is so much better than the one you came in with. But her daughter could say that to her, oh, Mom, that foundation shade is so much better than the one you came in with. So compliment time probably sells more product for you than any other thing that happens at the skincare class. So that's what we're going to do right now. And that begins the segue into executing the sale. Okay? So how does that happen? And I just say, ladies, I'm going to have you do two things for me right now. I'm going to have you take the mirror that's left in front of you, and I want you to extend that at arm's length. Now, why do we have them do that? It's because nobody ever gets this close up to you, right? Unless they're your doctor or your dentist. If somebody else gets that close to you, they're in your personal space. And so generally speaking, people always stay about arm's length away from you. And so if you want to see what everybody else sees, you look in the mirror at arm's length, all right? So I just have everybody around the table grab their mirror, and I have them hold it at arm's length. And I have them decide two things, all right? A, what do they like best about what they tried tonight? Did they love something about the skincare? Was their foundation shade great? Did they like how the overall feel? What did they like best about the products they tried tonight? Okay. The second thing that I have them determine is I have them look to the person on their right, and I have them decide what they liked best about what the person on their right did. What was the transformation like from a more objective standpoint? And here's what happens. They get each other so excited about the final result. You have moms saying to daughters, oh my gosh, your face looks amazing. You have friends saying to each other, girl, your face has never looked that good. I love the foundation color. Oh, it looks so light, it looks so fresh. You have women looking into a mirror, feeling pretty maybe for the first time in a long time and acknowledging it. And that's what happens during compliment time. Now you have to be very, very careful because you can get kind of bogged down and you have to stay in control of the party at this point. So literally what I do is I just work it around the table. And I simply look and say, Hillary, tell me first, what do you like best about what we did to your face tonight? And she tells me exactly what she likes. And then I'll say, I want you to turn to your right and I want you to tell your mom, what do you like best about what we did to her face tonight? Notice that I do it in a very excited tone, a very expectant tone, and everybody gets to tell what they like best, right? And so this just elevates the class to a super positive finish so that everybody finishes on a high note. Everybody's thinking about what they liked best and what felt the best and what worked the best. And so obviously, when you have it at a fervored pitch like that and everybody is loving their face, that's a great time to talk to them a little bit about how they can take the products home with them tonight. So that's, ladies, what we call compliment time. And that's how we move from finishing the product facial to moving into executing the sale. Let's stop it right now.